what's going on, guys? Colin here with IQ Dating, and in this video I'm going to show you how to become incredibly better at the art of reading people. Now, why do you want to tune in for this video? Why is it important to why does it even matter to get good at reading people and understanding people better on a deep level? The reason why is it'll actually allow you to become a much more interesting and significantly more attractive person to people in general, but also to women in your dating life. So let's crack into it. So one of the first things that I want you guys to understand is how someone does one thing is very likely how they show up in a lot of other areas of their life. You ever heard the saying before, how you do one thing is how you do everything? Well, it's very true. So let's take an example. If you notice that someone has an immaculately clean bedroom, well, it's very likely that that exact same person does things like has a lot of other organizational tools, is generally a very organized person. Maybe they're someone that has they like to calendarize a lot of things and pre-plan like a lot of things in their life. And you can tell this with a lot of accuracy based off just that one thing that you notice about them, which is that they have a very clean bedroom. Now, does the fact that they have a clean bedroom absolutely mean all these other different things about them? No, but it's very likely that you can guess with a high level of accuracy a lot of other different things about someone just based off that one fact. So the second thing that I want you guys to learn how to do is you want to learn how to master observation. So mastering observation means learning how to pick up on every single particular thing that you can about someone. Every little freaking detail. So the way that they dress, the way that they talk, the way that they respond to certain things that you say to them. Every single particular thing that you can notice about someone, the way that they walk, their body language in general, everything that you notice, every detail will give you a significant amount of more insight into a lot of other potential things about that person. So let's say that you meet someone who speaks with a lot of confidence and very clearly and coherently, and they also dress very well. Well, it's very likely that that person is a business person. Not for sure, but based off those two details, it's very likely that that person is in business, either doing sales, maybe they're a manager at a company, maybe they own their own business. Generally speaking, a lot of people who dress nice and speak with a lot of confidence and very clearly are people who have to communicate a lot and are people who are in business, right? So that's just an example, but what you want to do is you want to pick up on each particular detail about someone and then add up the details. One detail, so the fact that they dress nice and the fact that they talk a certain way, adding up details will then give you a much more likely chance to be able to guess certain things about someone, like the fact that they're a business person, or the fact that they're an artist, or the fact that they're probably a professional athlete, right? So that is tip number 2, so keep that in mind. So the next thing that I want you guys to realize is that people's habits, actions, and words very likely reflect their thoughts and beliefs. And this also works in a vice versa fashion. So let me give you 2 opposite examples. Let's say you have someone who you notice that they react in a very positive way in a bunch of different scenarios. You know, someone asks them for help, for example, and they say, yeah, absolutely, I'd love to help you. How could I help you out, right? It's very likely that that person that acted that way is someone who thinks and believes that people are nice, people are giving, the world is a great place that is fine and dandy, right? Let's take an opposite example. Let's say you notice that someone thinks and believes that people who get rich, they just get rich because, you know, it's luck. People who are rich are just lucky, right? It's very likely that that same person is not someone who works particularly hard in their life. He or she is not someone who has a habit of putting a lot of effort into advancing their career and amassing a lot of wealth for themselves, right? And the reason that is because people actually have this crazy tendency of actually believing and thinking in whatever supports why their situation is most okay. I'm going to say that one more time so you really get it. People have this crazy tendency of thinking and believing whatever it is that supports why their situation is good or the most okay, right? So someone who thinks that rich people are just lucky, rich people are just rich because they have good connections, the reason that they think that is because it's easier to think that, and it does not go against why they're not rich themselves, right? Why they don't make a lot of money themselves, right? If they thought that rich people just worked hard and they really did the right things to get where they needed to make a lot of money, then what would that say about themselves? What would that say about that person? That would say to that person that, oh, it's actually my fault, right? Oh, it's actually the fact that I don't put in the work. It's actually the fact that I didn't make it happen to go out and succeed for myself, right? So I really want you guys to take that in. Really notice that people really tend to justify to themselves through their beliefs why their situation is okay. So people will believe certain things about the world to make themselves feel better. Okay, so the next thing you guys want to notice is that people's environment has a massive impact on the person that they are, and is also going to give you a massive amount of insight as well into a lot of other different things about that particular person, which is going to allow you to read them better. So the two main things you guys want to realize, put your focus on, is what people does this person spend their time with? Like, who are their close friends? What is their family like? Who are their distant friends? And then the second thing you want to realize, what places does this person go to, how often and for how much time, right? So do they spend a lot of time studying at school? Do they spend a lot of time going to the golf course and playing golf? Do they spend a lot of time at home, or do they spend most of their time outside of their house, not at home? So all of these things that you can pick up on with regards to someone's environment will give you insight into a lot of other different things about that particular person. Okay, so the next tip that I have for you guys that will get you significantly better at reading people over time is simply practice, practice, practice. Practice makes perfect. And what you want to practice guessing a lot, okay? If you practice guessing a lot, over time, you're going to pick up on so many more patterns and things that you'll notice about people, which will tell you whether something else is true about someone. So guess things like, what age is someone? Guess things like, what profession are they in? Guess things like, what sports someone might play, right? And by guessing hundreds and hundreds of times, if not thousands and thousands of times over, the period of months and years, you're just going to pick up on all these things so much faster because you vocally had a chance to, because you actually had a chance to validate whether you were right or not based off them telling you whether it was true, right? If you guess that someone is 24 years old and it turns out they were 21 years old, now your brain is more aware of what someone who is 21 years old looks like versus someone who is 24, right? You'll notice more, and it'll be more implanted into your mind, what does their skin look like? What does their hair look like? What type of what type of fashion does that particular type of person have these days? So guess all the time, and you'll get incredibly better at reading people that much faster over time. So those are some of my top tips on how to read and intuit things about people better, and also how to consistently work on the skill of mastering how to read people over time. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Please like and comment on this video, obviously, if you did enjoy it and got some great value from it. Until next time, peace out. See you guys.